Hey eBay sellers, it's Suzanne A. Wells and welcome to video number 120 on my channel. And in this video I wanted to go over with you an experience I have had on eBay in the past few weeks. It's kind of been dragging on. Today is July 9th, 2016, and this started back in May. So I also want to emphasize this is not buyer bashing in any way. This is using an experience I had as a teachable moment to others so that if this happens to you, you will understand the proper channels to go through and the proper procedure to fight back against a buyer that you feel like is scamming you. Um, the bottom line here is to fight back the right way. eBay has a bad reputation online that they don't stand by their sellers, the buyer always wins, and as a platform, they are more buyer focused because let's face it, you need buyers to buy the items we put up for sale. So we want buyers coming back. We want them to like the platform. We want them to tell their friends. We want them to have positive experiences. But when there are bad apples mixed in there, we have to deal with them in the right way. And I will say that this is my 14th year on eBay, and I have never had to go through this length to deal with a buyer who was trying to pull something with me. So I've had over 30,000 transactions on eBay, and uh, in my experience, buyers are fine. They're good people. They're just like you and me. They just want to buy stuff online. There are a few mixed in there that try to pull scams, and sometimes we just ignore them and give them their money back, but other times, there's a little bit more at stake and we want to fight back the right way. So be sure to follow the eBay and PayPal protocol on everything. Do it the right way. Work through the proper channels. Correspond through the eBay and PayPal messaging system. You never want to just shoot off an email or a message to your buyer and talk ugly to them or threaten them. You always want to be professional and write your messages as if eBay is reading them, because they will, and they will use those messages later to decide a case. So it's just like any other email or text message. You write it because somebody could be reading it on the other end that is other than the person it's intended for. And so you always want to write your messages with a professional tone and an accommodating attitude towards your buyer. Document everything, take pictures, keep your pictures until you've gotten positive feedback on your items. And if there are any messages from the buyer, don't delete them, keep them in your messaging system. Document everything and just understand this is a process and you have to be patient and follow through with the steps. Okay, so here is what happened. I sold this perfume set back on May 5th, and you can see that it's brand new. It's vintage, but it's never been opened. I got it at an estate sale. So it's not used, but it is vintage and new in the package. And you can see there are two full bottles of perfume there, and a soap that's wrapped up, never been opened, and a nice shiny box in great condition. And then here is the description. Explains the bottles are full, the soap is unopened. It originally came with a powder, but that was not included. I gave all the details they needed. And then there is a picture of, again, what was sent, and the two bottles of cologne that were full, and the soap that is got the little sticker on the front and is wrapped up nice and neat. So about 3 weeks after shipping, I received a message from the buyer whose name I have partially obscured there. And she said that she received it, but one bottle was leaked too much. Obviously, English is her second language, no problem. And so I responded with, "How can we help? What did she want? I didn't know what she wanted. Does she want a partial refund? Does she want to return it? Is she just advising me that that there was some leaking? I didn't know what action to take. So never got an answer of what we can do. Then she requested a return because we kind of went back and forth, and I kept saying, well, if it's not right, return it. That's fine. We'll take it back. Um, so on June 8th, almost a month after she received it, she requested a return. I approved the return. Um, waited, waited. It never came. And on the eBay case, it said that it should have been received by June 15th. Well, I never got it back. So on the 16th, I called eBay and said, the time frame for this return has expired. Now keep in mind, I shipped it on May 5th, and here it is June 16th. And so she's had plenty of time to return it. And eBay found in my favor that, they removed the case and resolved it because no tracking was uploaded, never got it back. It was just, this happens sometimes with buyers. They just change their mind or they forget and they don't send it back. So thought it was all over. Well, then I get a case opened against me on PayPal. Now, PayPal has a 180-day guarantee that if you buy anything through PayPal, most of the time these are eBay cases, but it could be anything, that the buyer has 180 days or 6 months to open a case against the seller if the item is not as described when they receive it. So rather than rather than returning it through the eBay protocol, she just went straight to PayPal because her time on eBay had expired. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I'm willing to stand by my product. The objective here is to get the item back so that I can resell it. That's all I want out of this. Things get returned. It's not a problem. So you can go over to PayPal. I'll put the link there in the section below the video, and you can go read about this 180-day policy if you are not familiar with it. So this came out a couple years ago, and occasionally buyers will use it, but this is the first time it's ever happened to me. So the buyer filed this dispute with PayPal, and I responded with, no problem, return it. Okay. She finally returned it and uploaded her tracking number, and I got it back. But when I got it back, here's what I got. I got one of the original bottles with hardly anything in it, and a different bottle that I didn't even send her, and I opened it and smelled it, no smell, and it just appeared to me to be colored water. So, okay, yeah, that's not right. I can't resell that. And I didn't receive it back the way I sent it. So here's what I sent her is on the left, what I received back is on the right. Obviously, two different things. The soap had been opened and rewrapped and not new in the package, so I can't resell it as new. So the buyer claims that the perfume leaked, and that's why she's returning it. So I took a look at the box, and here it is, pictures of what I received back. The box is almost in brand new condition the way I sent it, and no sign of stain or moisture or liquid anywhere on the box. So if it had leaked in shipping, why isn't the box ruined? If that much perfume had leaked out during shipping, why doesn't the box show some signs of the leakage? So yeah, I started to question everything here. So I go check out the buyer, and lo and behold, she sells perfume on eBay. And it looks like she breaks these sets apart and sells the individual bottles. So probably the other bottle I sent her that she replaced with the colored water, she'd already sold it or done something with it. I'm just speculating here. But it was easy to figure out what she's doing because she's buying and selling under the same user ID. So, clearly I'm the victim of a scam here because she's trying to rip me off by sending back a bottle of colored water, and maybe she had poured the perfume out of the other bottle that only had a little bit left into something else to resell it. So yeah, that really bothered me. Okay, this isn't just a person who is like want something for free. This is somebody who's doing this to other people. So I kind of got it became a principal thing. I was on a mission here. So she uploaded her tracking to PayPal, and PayPal found in her favor because she did return it to me. However, you can appeal the case if what you got back is not what you sent. So I appealed the case and I put together, as you guys know, the level of detail I go to on everything. I put together like this 10-page Word document with screenshots of her messages, the pictures of what I sent to her, the pictures of what I received back, everything. And I put it all in this long report, and I tried to upload it on the appeal through PayPal, but oh, your document is too large. You have to fax this to us. And I'm thinking, okay, this is 2016 PayPal. People don't fax stuff anymore. So I had to go to the UPS store because I have no way to fax this to them and, pay per page to have this thing sent to them. But this is a $60 item. So I'm not going to just let this fall through the cracks. So I go up there on a Saturday morning, and of course, the fax had to be done like 3 times because it wouldn't go through, and paid and had that done. Um, got the confirmation of the fax, called PayPal on Monday and made sure they received it, and it showed that all the pages were received, and the representatives said that yeah, we can read everything, it was legible. So later that day I got the email that the case was reversed and found in my favor. So this was definitely a long and drawn out thing, but there is a process if this happens that you can win. And like I said, I've never gone to this lengths before to do this because sometimes it's just a $10 or $20 item and it's just easier to let it go. But I was kind of like, this person is probably doing this to other eBay sellers, and most people just give in and say, oh yeah, here, I'll just give your money back. And I just felt like fighting this one. So I just hate it when people give eBay a bad name. And she is a buyer and a seller that is giving eBay a bad name. So I just wanted to fight this one. And I'm sure, you guys can leave whatever comments you like. If you disagree, that's fine. But sometimes it's just, you have to pick your battles, and I picked this one. So, my objective the whole time along was to get the item back in resellable condition so I can relist it. So if it is something that is a high dollar item that you can resell, then it is worth fighting this battle. Um, definitely follow the eBay and PayPal protocol. Always contact your buyer or your seller. If you're the buyer who's the victim of a seller scamming you, you always want to message through the eBay and PayPal messaging system so they can see the messages. Sometimes the buyer will lose their cool and just start spouting off all this stuff, and it's going to be right there on the message so eBay can read it. So you have to be the bigger person and remain calm and respond in a professional way, knowing that eBay can read this at any time, and also document everything. So keep your pictures until the item, you get feedback for the item or the feedback time has expired. So well, in that regard also, if somebody could file a 180-day claim, you want to keep your pictures until that time period has elapsed. So I do get people asking all the time, how long should you keep your pictures? And technically you should probably keep them 6 months, because if this happens, you're going to want to be able to pull up those pictures. So, on another note, I was sad to get an email from Examiner last week that their site is shutting down. As of July 10th, all content there will be gone. So, I want to thank my 916 subscribers who have been reading my Examiner articles since 2009. So I wrote for them for 7 years and produced 643 articles. So all of that is going away, which is not a problem because the content I write is current. It's what's going on now. So an article I wrote 5 or 6 years ago probably is not going to be relevant anyway. Things change so much on eBay and on the internet that it's all about creating new content. Um, I've had other Examiner writers message me and say, "Oh no, did you save all your articles?" And I'm like, "Not really, because they're not going to be relevant." And um, so I'm over on about.com now, and that's where you can go and read my content if you want to keep up with what's happening on eBay. Um, I will be building my portfolio over there, and that's just the nature of the internet. Things are going to change. Nothing stays the same. I wrote for eHow for years, and that site evaporated. It's happened several times, and that's just the way it is when you write web content. Things don't last forever. So anyway, check out that site. I will put the link down in the description area. But anyway, the concept of this video is about filing claims, appealing your case, that kind of thing. That this does happen to everybody, and it's not. You've got to be careful how you react. You don't want to react to something, you want to respond. So you want to take your time and think. And this is one of the great things about selling online or doing an online business is you don't have that customer standing in front of you yelling at you. You have time to sit back, think about your answer, ask for advice, call eBay for help, talk to other sellers. Take your time and write a good answer and respond rather than just reacting out of emotion, or you're not going to get away with this, or uh, it's not personal. It is not personal. Um, I worked in banking and retail for years, and I can't tell you how many times customers almost made me cry. Well, some probably did, because they're standing there yelling at you for something that you did not do. It is not my fault that your checkbook is not balanced. I didn't do that. Um, Whatever. It's not my fault that that product fell apart. I didn't make it. So you have the luxury of that space to stop and think, respond in the right way, and respond in a way that's going to make you look like the bigger person if eBay or PayPal has to step in. So I hope that helps you. I'm working on getting some more videos up this month. It's just been a crazy summer, and I'm sure all of you can relate to that. Summer's just different than the rest of the year. But thanks for watching, and please share this video on your groups. If it will just help other sellers understand what to do. And that's my mission here, is education. And you are empowered through education and understanding the proper procedures. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.